Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the Daily SPY report for Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Before we look at the charts, I just want to encourage you, as usual, to please click like each and every time you watch the Daily SPY report. It does help us out a great deal, and we do appreciate it very much. Also, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. It'll provide you notification each and every time new content has been uploaded to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. That includes the Daily SPY report, and seeing it early, certainly before the opening bell, is to your advantage in terms of your trading and analysis. All right, let's jump into the charts. Take a look at the big picture here. A few days ago, earlier in the week, we closed back above that long-term channel bottom at 443.59 today, then indicating the 458.02 former channel bottom, which we tested on Wednesday. You know, I obviously record these the day before. I'm talking Thursday's trade, but I actually record them, 3, 4, 5 p.m. On the day before. So sometimes I even get the day mixed up, but I like to speak in terms of the present, the day itself. I don't know why I'm going deep in the weeds here, but I do know, I see on some of these comments on YouTube, the confusion, at least early on. What day are we talking about anyway? We are talking Thursday's SPY. And on Wednesday, we tested that targeted 458.02 former channel bottom. That was a 3 to 5 day target, took all of 3 days. And here we are. And from here, we can fall back to 443.59 over the next 2 to 3 days, 3 to 5 days. We could trade inside that, perhaps well into next week. This is kind of a closer view of that. So we could fall back from 458.02 from here down to 443.59 over the next 1 to 3 days, 3 to 5 at the very most. This kind of volatility, I think we could do it within a day or two. Let's take a look at the downside. We still have that rising former channel top we settled above on Tuesday. It pretty much held Wednesday's lows. I can't remember if we actually tested or not, but you can see that it looks like it did. And 454.63 is our early support for the day, above which 458.02, we should continue chipping away at that channel bottom, which once again can contain weekly buying pressures, and below which we can fall back to 443.59 over the next few days. If we break 454.63 today, I don't expect to see 443.59, but I do think 448.92 is likely. That's nothing more than I think that was an early December low. There's also a minor Fibonacci retracement at like 449.12, as I recall. So there's a lot going on in that 449, 448. Just call it 448.92. Keep it simple. That is a level that could contain daily selling pressures. If we break 448.92, we could test 443.59 intraday, although I think we'd need to settle below 448.92 to yield 443.59 tomorrow, where we can bottom out through next week. This is really what it looks like, the 3 to 5 day time frame from my perspective. Let's take a look at the support and resistance. You can see 458.02 above the market, that 3-star resistance, that former channel bottom, below which that 454.63 short-term rising channel top in reach. We can bottom out there, and holding above 454.63, 458.02 remains in constant intraday reach. But if we break 54.63, that 448.92 level in reach today, where we can place a daily low, and if we settle below 48.92, then we should probably tomorrow fall back to that long-term support area at 443.59 to 44.62, where we could bottom out perhaps through next week. It's also a significant downside tipping point into later February. Let's talk upside. I do need to address the fact, and what I'm about to show you is something I don't really like to do very much, but sometimes you just have to. The Nasdaq is having trouble, and as you are well aware, if you've been watching the Daily SPY or the Daily Triple Q for the last week or so, you know that the Triple Q is sort of in a world unto itself. It sold off more aggressively than the SPY, and it violated its channel bottom 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago, and it has yet to even retrace back up to that channel bottom that the SPY settled above 3 or 4 days ago. So we are merely retracing back to long-term resistance in the Triple Q. This is still a short-term rally to sell, clearly, for the Triple Q up to 374.91. So I just wanted to make that point. I wanted to underscore it. I wanted to remind you. And that is why, if you look at the daily SPY chart, 458.02, and I've been watching this formation all along, not 458.02, but a descending channel top that is closing in on 458.02. And so what I don't like to do is I like to create, sort of a backstop of reliability. What are the numbers? I don't like to hedge and add and, do what I'm doing here, which is basically saying, well, not so fast. If we settle above 458.02, we still have to reckon with 463.22. But what I like about 463.22, it's not just a valid descending channel top, but it's dropping at a pretty decent rate every day. So this is a range of resistance that I'm going to throw at you again, 458.02 up to 463.22. That's not to say that I'm expecting 463.22. It's just that it is the beginning of a range. And so I guess what I'm saying is I'm not comfortable playing the long side in the SPY into later February until we close above 463.22. And then I would anticipate the 478.988 high from late December within a couple, 2-3 weeks at the most. And honestly, there's a long-term trend line in the mid 490s that I would anticipate by the end of March if we close above 463.22. But until then, this area can contain buying through next week. And from here, we can quite easily fall back into the 440s at 443.59 long-term channel bottom over the next 3 to 5 days. Let's take a look at the support and resistance for today to the upside. Here we are. If we push above 458.02, we just might reach 463.22 intraday. That level also able to contain weekly buying pressures. It is a zone that is narrowing ever so gradually every day, and it is sort of the last stop, the last level to settle above before it's pretty clear to me that the SPY is just going to continue on up into the upper 470s within a couple of weeks and the mid 490s by the end of March. Until then, we can fall back into the 440s by the end of next week or sooner. And I think that is all that needs to be said for today's Daily SPY. I'll leave you the support and resistance as usual. Please click like each and every time you watch it. And don't forget to subscribe to Wicked Stocks YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's all I've got for Thursday's Daily SPY. I'll be back for tomorrow's Friday Daily SPY report. You have a great day.